So this is a time where new definition democracy will be the overtaking trajectory in terms of unique individuality in this emerging new era. Take 3 deep breaths, please. So the activation that is required to come forth during this time is the establishment for each and every individual who syncs up with this new trajectory and they resonate, and being able to create their own democracy and establish that for themselves in the highest alignment, that which is for the highest and best good, not for only that individual, but for the collective vibration of all. Take a deep breath, please. Having the higher awareness of your own governing factor, and when I say having your own awareness or the own awareness of your own governing factor, this has nothing to do with confirmation bias and traditional paradigms of political structures, or even older current ones that are crumbling away. This is about each individual aligning with their higher truth trajectory. And the stance that they take in terms of what their values are will play out according to the highest and best good and intention of all, starting with them. And while each person may already think that they're doing that, this is the time where there's going to be the examination of whether that is true or not. The new definition democracy is a new trajectory that has emerged, that has never been a trajectory established before. So this activation brings about where the new trajectory becomes the new order, and the reordering of values, principles, and premises will be newly established. So within this, each individual in this examination process is extracting their unique democracy from within and starting to play that out in their everyday realities. So this is no longer really relying on political parties to be the governing force and factor for how you make your decisions. You have a unique source democracy that's within, and this is part of the new definition that will lead you accordingly to what is going to be best for you. But at the same time, it will play out for the greater good of the whole. Take a deep breath, please. So this newly defined awareness of the democracy of you, which ultimately does govern the decisions that you make. But some of you will be called into those spaces and places in a different way on the political scene, so to speak. You will be creating your own movements. And again, these movements will not be based on conspiracy, confirmation bias, anything that actually has been in existence. This is a new order in which you are present with to receive the highest information and wisdom that's going to be relevant for this time, but also a newer sense of resonance in terms of what is best for the whole. the whole of you, and then playing out in your external reality that impacts others. Take a deep breath, please. So I'm being present for the activation. I was just guided just to set up and give just a premise that the higher context of this new democracy, new definition of democracy is simple. It is the higher source, supreme source, governor. And each person has their unique divine democracy template within. And it has an encoding with their own unique information. It's a template of their roadmap that they will play out and be able to bring forth this new expression in the highest and best good, again, starting with themselves. And then ultimately, it is what goes out into the world at large. Take a deep breath, please. So when we have Supreme Source as the governor, as the chief author and finisher of all things, this newer energy that comes in, it disrupts and disassembles all the other quote unquote governing factors that believe to be that they are in power. That includes the religious structures as well, that are not serving the highest and best good of the democracy that supports the whole. This emergence of humanity and humanity's evolution has long ago birthed something new that we are having to catch up with. And since the political world has not fully caught up with that, this is the time where each individual brings in their own unique trajectory. And again, this trajectory will be the higher divine source trajectory, and it is not in alignment with any of the current templates. Hear me when I say that. I'm going to repeat that. It is not in alignment with any of the current templates. So whether good, bad, or indifferent, this newer trajectory of new definition democracy will bring forth what is required to put everything in alignment the way that it is supposed to be. Take a deep breath. So the ultimate goal during this time is to focus on your unique new definition democracy template, because that is going to look and feel different for everyone. I'm here to hold the space, not to guide you into any intention, but just to set the premise and let you know what has emerged and what is the overtaking and dominating force of higher governing, of supreme authority. So let's be with that. A new order of supreme authority. And it will shatter, and already is, all false illusions, all conspiracies, falsehood, resistance, because the new has already overtaken. And now it's just the awareness of each individual coming into their own unique template of their new definition democracy, their divine democracy, and how that plays out with how they impact themselves individually, their families, their communities, and how they're led in this new way to bring about change in this world that supports the highest and best good. Take a deep breath, please. And so now, as this space is open, I want you to be present and become like a blank slate. You are a new canvas. Now, new wisdom and insight and relevance and values come forth to you and through you in terms of what new definition democracy is for you. Take a deep breath, please. So be with that. What is new definition democracy to and for you during this phase? Take a deep breath, please. And ask, what is your primary role in this new initiative? Take a deep breath, please. And ask, who am I being in this new definition democracy? Take a deep breath, please. And ask, how do I support the highest good of all in truth? Take a deep breath, please. And ask, what is my first call to action? What is my first call to action? Take a deep breath, please. Now the activation that wants to come forth is that you move in love and never fear. Because this new supreme source vibrates at the highest level of the love, because it is love, but it's just a higher level and higher frequency. This love does not cause division, yet cast out all fear. Perfect love made complete. But in its completeness, in the lower democracy, will cause disruption. And in most cases, it already has over a little bit over time, but now it's just more illuminate, if you will. And that's why this is the call to the new definition democracy, where each individual now plays from the higher stream of supreme source authority. And it is governing them and guiding them in the highest and best ways, in truth. and in love. Take a deep breath, please. So at this moment, we're going to anchor and activate what came up for you in this new way of being, and that you play out the highest level of truth in love. Take a deep breath, please. Now we're anchored and activated. And thank you. And before I conclude, I just want to take a moment to be a little bit more present, because even though that part of the activation is complete, I do feel that there's something else here. And so I just want to be present with the space. And I want to be a champion for each of you. To first of all, congratulate you on having strong minds, which means your guidance system has been on point, and to bring you to this space here means that you have aligned already with the highest truth trajectory, and you will be a strong force in this world moving forward in truth and in love. And of course, the truth, the ultimate truth, is not the truth of anyone's perception. It is the truth, the highest ultimate truth. So I want to congratulate you. And again, I want to champion you, because you think for yourself and you have a strong mind, but you also know how to align accurately with those who are doing their best, even under the older systems, to bring about the required change. And though they're not perfect, by no means, but are the required vessels during this time to at least make some shifts. But you yourself are making shifts because you are now relying on the supreme, the source, supreme authority to provide you with the wisdom and the guidance and the insight, even above what's being introduced or given to you as a template to still follow. But you'll find your way even within that to bring about the highest and best good for you and your family, and your community, but ultimately the world at large. You are doing your part. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm here to support you in this new divine democracy, newly defined for your unique individuality that benefits the collective. So thank you.